continuing to build on eye progression, with each other, because a lot of times you're not just seeing things through just your eyes. You have to see it through the eyes of the guy next to you. So what he sees, to be able to communicate to get things done. And so obviously the more you play with each other, the more comfortable you feel with the communication piece.
Has anybody made a real big leap over the summer among those five guys?
I really think Yelda Froholt has stood out to me. One of his huge goals was to become a more natural pass setter, and he really has done a nice job with that. He's his footwork has been much improved, and as far as the way he's put together, I think you could tell that he's put in a lot of hard work. He's a mountain of a man, in terms of his stature and his size and his girth, and the ability to move people, and he's been impressive.
How crucial is Frank's leadership going to be this year?
Well, I think any time that you have a senior leader in your room, a captain in your room, obviously that is pays huge dividends. But I think it's usually even more beneficial when you have it be your starting center, because he is the mouthpiece, he is the vocal on every play in terms of getting us on the right page, getting us our eyes in the right spots, and identifying certain things. So I think it'll play a huge factor into this season, I think, because I think everybody understands that he's the leader, but also as he's communicating things to us with a strong mind in the middle, and obviously being when you're a leader, guys listen, and that's going to go a long way.
Last year you guys had, you were new, you only had 2 starters back, you had a lot of inexperience. Now you've got 6 guys that have starting experience.
Mm-hmm.
Just how much better do you feel about the line, from now to post event?
Obviously we're a ways out from game time and that, so I think it's just more of it's a different type of preparation. It's working on different things in terms of the type of teaching that you're doing, and the communication piece, and the you can take it 2-3 steps further than you could in the past, and so obviously that's obviously an added bonus, because you got guys that have been in my the system in terms of terminology and footwork and techniques and stuff like that, and so it's not so much asking questions on those. It's more about having an open dialogue and a discussion on how and what they're doing and why they're doing it, and we can have football conversations a little bit. Last year it was a lot of myself talking, a lot of listening, and not really knowing if they were grasping what was being said. Now we have good, intelligent football conversations, and we can get a lot more accomplished that way.
How much better do you think the line can be in terms of cutting down on sacks, being more effective in the run game? You guys had your moments last year, and then you had your tough times too.
Yeah, I think a lot of that, comes with the amount of reps that you get together, and I think the expectation for us is obviously we want to run the football, and we want to protect our quarterback, and so that's been a huge focus of ours since we left that bowl site, and I feel good about the direction that we're headed.
You look at Colton. He started last year as a starter, then he got replaced. I guess you guys moved Dan over there. Just how do you think Colton's doing?
I think he still needs to work on his consistency. He shows flashes at times where he can be as dominant with his athleticism as any left tackle in this conference. And then, but I think there's times where, his lack of experience, of true experience, shows sometimes when, a mistake is made, and it's about moving on from that mistake and not letting one mistake snowball into another. And so, yesterday was a much better day for him in terms of that regards. The day before kind of let things snowball a little bit and let his emotions get the best of him in terms of going out there and abandoning technique and just trying to out physical some guys but those are all good learning lessons to have for a young guy like that that's going to get his opportunity to be the corner piece on the protecting the quarterback's blind side.
The various blitzes they're trying to develop on the defensive side out of the 3-4, how beneficial is that going to be for your guys having to go up against that?
I think obviously it's this year, even early on in camp here, I mean the blitz patterns, all that stuff, it gives you opportunity to work on various patterns, various pickups, different ways to combo some things off. Last year we were strictly in underfront, and there's only so much you can do out of that. And so you get into playing teams that are over and odd and various different blitz patterns. You're relying on your scout team to give you the best look that you can in that. And obviously we know that it's not going to be as game speed, game ready in terms of those pickups. And so I think it's going to be obviously a great benefit to us in order to see all the different type of blitz patterns, different type of twists and pickups and all that stuff. It's going to definitely be to our benefit.
In this recruiting class, you have a couple in-state commits on the offensive line. I know you can't speak specifics, but how beneficial is it to have a couple SEC caliber guys within the state?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously anytime that you can get something that was grown in your own state like that and have a strong recruiting class within a state, it obviously makes the program better. I mean, these guys that grow up in this state and have played in this state obviously have a great understanding already of what they're walking into in terms of the traditions, the university, they're navigating their way around, all that stuff. All that plays an important role because it's not just important to that individual, like sometimes when you get to an out-of-state guy, but I mean, you're talking about a team, a program that's important to parents, their grandparents, their cousins, their town. I mean, so obviously I think it's going to have a big positive impact. And hopefully, for the next couple of years, as you look at the recruiting, there's some strong classes coming up here this year and next year in terms of the state of Arkansas, which is obviously going to help this program.